Okay. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. How are folks tonight? Hey, Papa, hey, Elias, hey, Brian and Joe, 3D Print Junkie, Doom, hey, GJ and Bill, hey, CNC Maker and Jeff and James, hi, Mitchell, hey, Trucker, I want to thank Matt for becoming a member, Papa Way, R. Chapman, how is everybody? Hi, Jose, James, Rod. Whew. We are back on this little test station. Hey, Daniel. Okay. So between streams, so let's just get right to it. First, we have Polymaker Filament giveaway. Pin post description, links there. Hey, BBs. Hey, Clownhammer. Hey, Void. Vinicius. Jack. Demlar. Cliff and James. How is everyone? Hey, Red Sky. Between streams, I redid the wiring as I mentioned I would. I also found a 100 watt 24 volt power supply, so everything is a little better lined up. And I printed a few parts. So, hey, Kevin, Joel, Wind Farms. So last night we hung out on my Discord in the voice chat for a little bit while I worked on this. So that is not going to be a scheduled thing. It's not going to be an announced thing. But if you ever see me in there, it's an invitation to come in and chat. So don't think that if anybody else is in there that you're not welcome. It is an absolute open invitation if you see me in the voice chat in my Discord to come in and hang out. So, hey, Hybrid Robotics. Hey, Maddie. So that during that little session there, I redid the wiring for the AC wiring. I made a little Wago distribution block over here and kind of cleaned it up a little bit. PF Dennis, Kittrell, Tuxedo. So the eventual iteration of this, I will reprint a new rear skirt. I'm going to reprint all of this because I don't like this filament. But I will reprint it with a little shield to go over the AC lines there. The nature of this project is really going to make it not practical and probably not super required to ground everything on this frame. All the power supplies are grounded, but the frame, each individual piece is not connected to each other for one thing. So, oh, that's why those don't fit. Because I put the little indexing feature for that all the way to the end. And I have corner cubes in there that don't have that. Hey, Shammy. Member for 9 months. $2 for being 2 minutes late. My super PSUs arrived. Nice. How big is that physically? I mean, the point here was stuff I had on hand. But I'm curious how much space could be saved. So, 3D experiments. Thanks, Shammy. Jordan. What else do we have? Orion. Anyway, so that's basically all I did off camera is rewire the AC stuff. I did link the grounds on the DC grounds on the power supplies, and then we'll run another output to the various things. So, not a whole lot to that. I was going to put some feet on this though while we're here and it's upside down. So let me grab some fasteners for that. 2.5 by 5 by 12. Yeah, 12 would put me right to the edges here. Did you ever look at one of those bigger multi-supplies? I haven't, not really. Let's see if I can put all these in without splitting the plastic on these corners. What colors should I reprint this in? It's going to get reprinted. These extrusions are all exactly 300 millimeters. And speaking of this design, I did put it out there. I put it out in the files and stuff folder or channel on my Discord as kind of the CAD for this. Kind of putting it out on GitHub. So if the link is in the description to join my Discord. You can get the CAD for this. I welcome anybody to check it out, make suggestions, do whatever they would like with it. Because the intent is not to make this a complete thing during this build series. The intent was to make it work and to check out this Recore A7 controller board on it as its maiden test. Powder blue. Hey, Poity. Are you liking the Milo so far? You've had any time? Of course. I am liking it because it has enabled me to quickly make tweaks to stuff on the black box. So what I've used it for mostly is cross-drilling extrusions for various purposes, either fixing the one extrusion or converting the bed frame to blind joints. Millennium OS, which is their little collection of macros and stuff. Not operating system, but operations system, has been a nice little guided setup with its learning curve, but it's not too bad. The Charlie Wire colors. Orange, galaxy blue, metallic blue. There's some fitting extrusions on the way then. Nice. I mean, this, with some tweaks, I would say similar to a Voron because of the way I have the skirt set up. I would suggest keeping within 25 millimeter increments. So if you go bigger than this, go 325 or 350 on the extrusions. I would not split that because then if you keep to 25 millimeter increments, then the skirts are easy to line up. Hey, Garrett. Length is 10 inch without wiring, so it would fit in 11 inches. Oh, okay. Well, $30 for it? That's nice. Hey, Jen. Sparta. Reprinted in your logo colors from Discord. That would work. Do an orange and blue. Okay, so little accent pieces, and now, so I've redone, here you can kind of, I've brought over my fasteners from the other garage, but they're not labeled yet because I've been organizing them, redistributing them. So, hey, Christian from Brazil, welcome. So I need to remind myself where the various fasteners ended up. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use tested eBay item. Oh, okay. And then M5 nuts. There we are. That one is labeled because it was labeled before. 2. But I'm trying to give space for basically every fastener and every type. So for instance, up here is stainless steel button heads are there, and that's across these 4. And then black oxide button heads are here across those 4. Then nickel plated, dark nickel plated fasteners are there across those 4. And then we go to flat heads, and then those varieties. And we go to socket heads and go to those. So, Arthur, thanks for the gifted memberships. Been at this myself for the past 2 weeks. Found that color coding the bin liners helps with organization. And I've done a terrible job of color coding the bin liners. They are random. It's based on what filament I felt like I needed to get rid of at the time that I was printing them. So it's a lot of PLA, and it's a lot of like white, as you see, and other colors that I wasn't planning on using for anything else. Hey, Shane. As soon as everything has a home, you get too many of the one. I need more space for in 3x10s. So that's my idea. My additional thought with that is I'm going to have an overflow bin, basically, where I put things into baggies and label them. And if I run out of something in the containers here, then I go to that overflow bin and see if I have extras there before I buy. So one spot for extras. because I do have some, an inordinate amount of certain sizes, like M5 by 10 stainless steel button heads. I have a lot of them. This is the overflow bin. So, hey Derek, thanks for the gifted memberships. What is that main board? We will get into that, but that is the Recore A7. It is a unique board, has a lot of neat features. We'll get into that. Start printing out Gridfinity bins and drawers for my hardware, but taking forever and using up a ton of filament. I'm thinking of other solutions. So I thought about converting over to Gridfinity instead of this, but I think my density of storage is way higher with these. Gridfinity would be more flexible for this type of thing, but I don't have a good spot to put them. I'd need them in like drawers, like my tool chest here. It would make it easy to move things around and like add a size if I needed to. But I think, like you said, filament use and I'd need a place to put them, and I don't have that. Hey, Brent. I need 2 and 5 by 12 button head. Need 2 of those, or you need 2 bins for that size. I don't have actually a spot for them 5 by 12 button heads. I probably need to put a spot. And one more of these. Have you looked at the Gen 2 line of printable drawers? I saw it. I couldn't tell you exactly about it, but I have looked at it. Gridfinity is nice, but it takes a lot of bench real estate. Exactly. I am planning on doing Gridfinity for my, here, let's loosen that and bring this over here. So I have my tool chest here, right? It's a mess, but I'm planning on doing Gridfinity bases for these, and then spots for like an area here to better organize my screwdrivers, because this is what I do. My screwdrivers are basically here, hex wrenches, that kind of thing. And I'm going to print out Gridfinity bins for the various stuff to kind of organize. So when these close, things don't shift mostly, and because it'll be a fun little project. Like here's measuring tools and 1, 2, 3 blocks and stuff, and then some miscellaneous wiring stuff down here. But I realized that I can print out a Gridfinity base in one piece on the Phoenix. So I'm gonna do that and put magnets in the bottom of it so it just sticks to the drawer, and then put magnets in the bottom of the bins so they stick. Deal for tool drawer, yep. Okay, so now this thing will sit on its feet. Woohoo. Okay, I printed out some Wago holders. Now I don't know exactly what the end configuration is going to be, but for right now my plan is to put ground and 24 volts in this one on this side, and 5 and 48 volts on this side. So a 5 position Wago for ground and 3 position for 24 volts, and then 3 each for 5 volts and 48 volts. Now one of those will get used up by the feed from the power supply, which will give me 2 positions each for the different voltages, plus 4 extras for ground. Chet just did a video with a link to a website for specifically making different size bins. Nice. I'm gonna model my own base because I want to put, I think, 5 by 2 magnets in the bottom of it, just pressed in. So they'll just stick to the metal drawer and hold the base in place and go from there. I just bought a Husky Home Depot 2-drawer adjustable height workbench. 2 nice full width shallow drawers that are great for Gridfinity. Nice. I just ordered a big workbench. It'll be here Friday. It's for in here. It's gonna go right there along that wall. It's 8 feet wide, 36 inches deep. and it's got an 1 3/4 inch maple butcher block top on it. It's going to be awesome. I did not put chat overlay in. What in the world? I forgot. I'm sorry. Give me a moment. There we go. Thank you for that reminder. That's a bummer. I hate when I forget stuff like that. Hey, Bob. The Bento 3D.design app looks awesome. This design also looks like it could use the inverted electronics Trident mod. No, it couldn't. Not with how this is gonna go. And really, okay. You need inverted electronics for this? They're taller, stronger walls, and the label shelf matches my labeler. Oh, okay. That's a solid band name. Bass in place. I printed 15 Peter designs parametric. Lots of fun stuff. Found the bases just take up extra height in the drawer, so it just made them so that they take up the entire drawer and hold themselves in place. It's like a monster guitar pedal board. Still confused. Is this a printer or a motherboard tester? It's a motherboard tester. It's a controller board tester. 100%. Let me grab some. We need power. So the basic things we need here for powering this guy up is power and a mount. So I think the goal here today is going to be to get things mounted, powered up, and start that up. We can add things as we want to test different parts. Like we can plug a stepper into it. I think it'll plug right in if we orient the board correctly. We can plug a couple of steppers into it and make it stepper buzz. And go from there. What do you think about carbon fiber nylon for stealth burner body? Wouldn't it warp from bolt tension? It could creep from bolt tension, but for just the body, you're probably not, it's probably not too bad. Slap Tonex on this thing. Okay, I need some 3s. So. Hey, zombie. You recovered from your birthday weekend? That's going to go right there. Another 3. Did I have a 5 around here? Thought I had one outside of the bin. Did you add a 120 volt power plug and fuse to this? Right back there. I'm glad I grabbed that right there. That didn't go flying. Pretty much, workshop is still a mess. Aren't they all? Mine's a mess. Oh, where did I put? Nope, not that. M5. There. Anduit Label Maker has pre-cut and wire wrap labels. Hey, Randy. Some of these are going to be tough. I'm not going to actually use these. I'm going to use hammerheads. So I'm going to use hammerheads and these. Hey, Brent. That's going to go right there. I'm just going to put it all the way against the back for right now. there. This one. And this one. Wouldn't worry about 120 volts touching extrusions. We may want to add ground straps solely for static purposes. Are we going to be worried about? I mean, everything is mounted on plastic. Hey, Steven. Everything is mounted on plastic. Anything should get at least DC ground connected. So, okay. And then one wire on each of these is going to go to the power supplies. Let's see, I have some silicone wire here. Go with this stuff. How are you going to organize them in a way that you won't have to guess which voltage is which? $24 ground, 48 5. There we go. Ground, 5, 48, 24. There. No 12s. Nope. We are past the stone age of 3D printer controllers. Okay, what do we got? We've got 5 going here. So one of the things we might, I don't know if I'll do it between streams or we might do something, is make some sort of cover that'll go here, and then it'll have some cutouts so the feed wire can sneak up into the area, but that is another thing. I should swap these, because this is the 24 volt supply and this is the 48, but to be closer to where I'm outputting them, I should swap these. So let's do that. And since they are the same form factor, this should be pretty quick to do. It is a label maker. The intent, just keep the theme going. The intent with this whole setup is for it to iterate over time. To that end is why I've released the CAD for it already on my Discord. Of if anybody has ideas, go for it. I would love to get ideas on how to set this up better. It can evolve, yep. My plans of building my own for a couple of years, but I've been procrastinating. Me too. Me too. This is the end of that procrastination. Yeah, since they match, this is nice and easy to do. Just making sure I'm still in the right spot. I do have covers like this for these other two. I just have to find them. Just the little Meanwhile branded or official covers. But design iteration. So hopefully this isn't going to be the last controller that I test on here. So hopefully each one I do, I'll find some reason to change it. So, hey, Mad Cat. Popped in, just say hi and good night. Good night, Maddie. Have a good one. Okay, so what do we have here? We've got 5 volts, which is the close one. So we're going to go basically here and down to, let's just do this. And these are probably not going to be the final lengths of these wires either. So let's just cut that about there. And that, and that. Oh yeah, I've got enough. Okay. I don't know if I'll need that. I bend, where did I bend those? Oh, there they are. Those two and these. Let me set these out in, there we go. Just slather hot glue over the terminals if you can't find the covers. Creality style, yep. Thoughts on having banana plugs on the top side that you can plug into the controller with pigtails or XT60s? Just space and mounting, I think, is the thoughts I have on that. Now you need a handle so I can pack it about, maybe. Okay. Wiring has gotten expensive. Yeah. Did I hear a nanner sandwich? That's funny. You didn't bring any nanner sandwiches to Rocky Mountain. So, that guy off. Go. There. And right there. That'll end up doing something like that. But we'll just let it hang there for a bit. And then we need, kids ate them before we made it out of the state. Okay, so then we'll come over across here. Something like that. This daisy chain black wire is a common ground. It is. Yep. And there's no huge load that's going to be put on this. If at some point I load it up, then we can revisit the power. I mean, I've got, these are 100-watt power supplies, and this is a 35. There's not a ton of current going to be under here. So a different color wire for the positive. Yes, that is a That is a good idea. It is definitely. I don't have that right now, so we're gonna use these, but a different color wire depending on what voltage we're running would not be a bad idea. We could do like yellow, orange, and red or something. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Just what gauge is this? It is heavier gauge than these. These are supposed to be 18 gauge. I think this is 16. Yeah, this is 16 gauge. It's just the wire I had handy. But it squeezed in there just fine. So. Color wire or heat shrink, yeah. Something to note on any of your printer builds that I'm thinking of right now is any unused terminals on here, make sure they're tight. Make sure they're tight. They will vibrate and fall out. And that's gonna go just basically something like that. Oh, where? Hey, Dark Zoro. Let's do something like this. This will kind of help it. This is just going to be zip tie world on this thing. I'm not tightening these. They're just there to hold it in place. Yeah, that's not bad. One more of these. It's going over to here. Right to about there. This is where you need a PB Tools PB5180 screwdriver. Are you telling me a new tool I need? Where do you typically source your wire from? Well, this silicone wire, I've bought this specifically because it's joined silicone heavy gauge wire. It's just kind of nice to keep clean. This is just Amazon. I have bought wire from Remington. I've bought wire from mostly Remington or Amazon. There was another brand of PTFE wire. I don't remember the brand name. I thought it might have started with an A here in the US that I've bought wire from. Where are you tonight? Why did you leave me? Is that a song? Can I ask a question about LED screw motor? LED screw motor, what is that? Sure. I don't know if I'll have an answer, but you can ask. Hee-haw. Amphenol? That might have been it. That might have been it. This thing can go back on here. Roy Clark and Hee-haw. I do remember Hee-haw barely. It was not, it was all reruns and syndication by the time I was seeing it, but might finally have to replace my 10-year-old desktop. Uh-oh. Okay, and then make sure the rest of these are tight. Guess we know who's the older crowd in here. This one goes here. So that I want to do something like that, but that will probably just hang out there for a bit. And then the long bit of ground wire I have here is just going to go here to just make it follow that one. Make it follow along with that one and cross that at right angles, perpendicular. I think our most senior members is Timor. Yeah? It's not you? Hey, Greg. There are a couple of folks older than me. I didn't know that was possible. I think all my country music even today. Yeah, I'm not a country music person. Oop. And claim to be mature, just old. Exactly. Okay. Where'd that screwdriver go? Missed this one. So that is the ground we are grabbing. I remember when dirt was new. Okay, and let's just keep these together a little bit. Favorite band? Oh, I have no idea. I have mentioned before, I am one of the most musically disinclined, least musically inclined people you'll meet. Okay, so these are going to go around here, and once the deck plate is on here, this will be a bit clean. I have been hearing a lot of Queen on the radio lately. It's just not lately. It's been. Okay. Okay, ground and 24 volts is over there. We'll have some sort of cover on here, so these will just be kind of poking up the side. To quote a movie, we ain't got a radio. Ah. Favorite rock band for the longest time. What are we at? 5:30. There could be more likes by 175 people. That's good. We have 70 likes. We could use more for sure. Okay, this is kind of at a point where we could power things on. Let's make sure I didn't screw something up, and let's power it on and make sure all our voltages are are reasonable before we plug in the controller. It would be tragic to immediately cause a problem. Let's power that up. Throw all this stuff away. I'm hoping I don't need these. Let me get these out of here. These are ones that I hope I never knock over. Okay. And voltmeter. Don't let the smoke out. Okay, so let's power that on and have LEDs on all the power supplies. That 5-volt one is brighter than the others. So for 48 volts, tie the negatives together. All of the grounds are tied together to keep a common reference ground. Nothing to do with just the 48 volts. So we're gonna go there, I hope. And let's see what we get here. There we are. 24. 48. And 5. Get it in there. Well, there we go. Just had to hit the right spot. Add-on idea, fuses. You're right. A fuse for each one is a good idea. Yes, yes, we will need fuses. We should not rely on the controller fuses for this. The station should have its own fuses. That is a good idea. We'll figure out what the best way to do that is. Maybe, I don't know if it's just an inline fuse or if there's a good format that folks think might fit into my setup here for fuses, let me know. But I think you're right. A fuse, 3 fuses on this would be a good idea. I'm going to use serrated washers to ground the frame. I am not planning on grounding the frame. They do not connect to each other. There is no AC bed here. All of the AC is isolated to the power supplies. And they are all grounded to each other. There's nowhere else that things may go. I've only been to the Garden for a few Celtics games way back. Best live bands, resettable fuses. Super old school. We're inline glass barrel fuses. Could 5-amp circuit breakers. Yeah, if anybody wants to link, put in the comments if you have a suggestion. Oh, we're gonna need some more of this wire, so to power the controller. What did James L say for good call? Yes, fuses is a good call. The reason I asked is because the IEC switcher is exposed, or maybe I misinterpreted what I think I saw. You are right. This is exposed. The next iteration, I am going to put a blocker here, so that won't be touchable. So I'm going to put a little, there. You've seen it, my little shock blocker. I'll put a provision there so it's not, you're not going to get your fingers in here. It's also going to have a bottom panel. It's also going to have a bottom panel, and it'll have a deck panel. And then all these opportunities for LEDs and switches go into the grills. And then there will be side skirts and probably a fan in one of them or both of them. Dropped one in Discord chat. Okay. Okay, so we have, let me bring it up. The whole big part of this is, hey, one later, Peter. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. Very easy to get there everywhere and are trusted by a lot of things. Blade fuses in a small fuse box. Not a bad idea. A little 3-position box. Fuses in line with DC wouldn't really provide any needed protection. It would as a standalone unit here. If something shorts out, I think it's still a good idea. The AC is fused by the inlet, and each of these power supplies probably have some sort of protection circuitry in them. But any chance you could live stream when you fusion up the skirts? I really want to build a top hat for my Micron, but I have no clue. Maybe, probably not though. You've been here just lurking mostly. Grounds and power, make sure touching the frame all the time. Barefoot, perfect. Earth ground. He has a cover that goes around the IEC inlet. You might be able to manage that part with your design. I've got the same. Those have been around for a while, may have seen it on a previous stream. So, okay, back to the Recore A7. This is what we're doing. You are the fuse. So, Recore A7. Now there's an A8, but it's not quite out yet. But what I have here is the A7. This should have a installation of Clipper on it right now. So I'm hoping kind of the part of today is just power it on and see what it looks like. But also part of this whole purpose of setting this up is to go through the full setup process for this from scratch. So I think it's needed. The power supplies themselves have short circuit protections. I've been a fuse and resistor, cannot recommend. What is the protection inside of these? I should look it up. I would rather not trip it if it's not resettable. So still an external fuse is a good idea. I don't want to destroy my power supplies. So there's info here. There are 3D models of the device. So here, let's pull this out and see what we have. So this is the Recore A7, and it's sitting inside of what's called the rebase, which is a big heatsink. It's a nice, really nicely done aluminum base that has raised spots for some thermal interface material called the rebase A0. Those raised spots hit behind the FETs and the stepper drivers, and that bolts in like that. Fusible link wire for fun. And then it's labeled there. So USB, HDMI, we got ES end stops, we got thermistors, we got heaters, we got a bed, we got voltage input, we've got, I don't know what F0, FO and F1 are, but then we have steppers 0 through 5, and then F2 and F3. So there are also additional things. Let's see what this is. This is a stepper expander board. So the stepper expander board, I think it goes on here in this direction, right? We'll look at the documentation, but I think it goes on here. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to look at the page. I saw a high voltage stepper daughter board that Elias has done. I've got a, what is this? The remove. This is this the ADXL? A little USB ADXL? Other direction? Okay. It goes across. It goes this way. I would have looked it up. It was on there like that. Makes sense, going out in the same direction for the wires. I'm just going through the things here. We'll look at the page. Here's some of that thermal pads. And this is the mounting hardware for the rebase. Remove is an accelerometer. Yep. Right foot and right leg. Oh. And then a little Wi-Fi adapter to plug in for Wi-Fi. Then a bunch of connectors. We will use those. We go to the, I think if we go up, so wiring information here, but if we go up here, there is, if we go to the main page, there are, this is the different hardware. So the re-step is that little stepper, add-on stepper driver. So, and then this will show choosing an address, clipper configuration. This should probably show how it plugs in. If there's somewhere else that shows that, let me know. We got a lot of stuff. We got Rexfer. What's Rexfer? Rexfer is a Wi-Fi dongle that works with a Recore. Is that what that's must be what I have here? Actually, you were right the first time about re-step. Okay. I seem to remember. That's why my first inclination was to go the other way, because it seemed to be counterintuitive to me. And I remembered that. So that's why I went that way. Relit. Oh, little LED bar. LED strip. Work with the Recore A7. And then Revolt is the high voltage 48 volt 2160 drivers. Information there. And then the rebase. And this is what I wanted to get to. So we have a rebase. There is a STLs here, or step files, but for a cover and a little fan mount. I have not printed these. So we're just putting this together open top, which is probably good for visibility anyway. Retransfer. Was there a re-exfer. Up to 10 amps with the 2160s. Okay. Hey, Joseph. It is going well. We are at a point where we can start putting stuff together. So how do I want to install this? I want to install this such that the steppers are pointing that way. I think that's... That way I can maybe just plug these in if they're paired up correctly. We'll check and get some sort of maybe an output if we do like that. You got a gifted a 3070. Nice. I have a 3070 in my streaming computer here. Okay, so I think the first thing I want to do is bolt this in. I'm not going to put those, at least right now. Oh, that's interesting. What are these for? What are the magnets? Oh, is that for the top? Is the magnets to stick the top down? So these go through here, and then that cover goes on. Probably press these magnets in and it holds on with magnets. So I'll leave these in here. Yep, cool. That's neat. So like I said, I'm not going to put the thermal interface material on because I'm not going to be actually stressing it. If that is a bad idea, let me know. But I feel like it's not required since this board is an add-on to begin with. But since this goes on from the top, I really didn't need to put this on yet. That's okay. That's fine for now. Cool. Okay. So that's going to go in there. And then I grabbed a rebase A0. So I just modified the Voron ones to match the hole spacing here. So let's get my M2s here. Now these are very similar to the ones that Elias has provided as step files on the website, but they weren't out there when I printed those. They're out there now. Yeah, good question. Any plans to integrate Wi-Fi? And if there aren't, what are kind of the pros and cons of doing that? Is it cost? Is it something to do in the design? It's gonna go there. This is gonna go here. Just file. I'm addicted to stupid AliExpress parts. I order a surprising little amount off of AliExpress. Okay, who's there? Still getting used to where I put things. Probably go 8mm on these. Let's get more threads into this. Not looking forward to having to finally upgrade my Windows 7. Be nice with Wi-Fi, sure, but I think the dongles work well, so it's not a major priority. Would allow a better getting started experience, though. Is the expectation that if I power this on with the Wi-Fi dongle in place, should I get a clipper interface as a mainsail or fluid that's in here by default? Yeah, that's better. I'm gonna replace these. Hey, Joel. Okay, so if that goes on like that, I've got my, there we are. Very tight. That has nothing to do with the board. It has to do with my print settings for this filament. There we are. My print settings for that filament is a little tight, it seems. If you have the dongle in place, it should come up in host mode, yes, but the software that is on there might be too old. Okay. Well, we will find out, because I've had this a while. So that is that is understandable. So if we take the dongle, this is going to go into, just go into USB 1. That'll go there, that'll go there. And then we need a voltage in. So this is kind of nice. Little removable. What are these called? I know what they're called. I'm drawing a blank. The pro for me is the ability to choose my own Wi-Fi dongle. Sometimes you need a more powerful one. Downside is you lose a USB port. Okay. So this is going to go in there like that. So that's nice. I like this, being able to do that. I'd be curious to see if you could do a plain ambient image on it and manually install clipper, main cell, etc. Well, we'll go through there is a rebuild and there's some documentation here on the page. Phoenix connectors, there we go. Now, what is the pin out there? So it's not labeled along here. It'd be kind of nice if it was in the rebase here, what the polarity was. So we will find out here. Let's go to the Recore A7. And the pin out here. So we have power. So let's zoom in. So we got two voltage in, 2 ground. I only need to use 1, right? So I'm gonna go ground. Let's do something like about that long, about yay long. I put all my stuff away prematurely. You only need 1 for low power testing. What would be the threshold where you would want to have 2? What would you consider that threshold? About 15 amps current draw, you need all 4. Okay. Should try to provide current capability for the circuit. I would use 2 if the current exceeds AWG recommendation. We are going to max current per channel. And where are those? Is that recommendation on the page? So here's ground. So we're going to go in, grab ground, and then the inside ones here are ground. So inside. That's going to be a ground. Connectors are spec'd at 15 amps per pin. Okay. That. Grab 24 volts. Here. Follow along. We'll just make this the same similar length. Seems a different way. If you need 2 wires to handle the input current, you need 2 grounds to finish the circuit. Got it. Maybe leave more space for the USB connectors. What do you mean, leave more space for the USB connectors? There's no side panel here, and this can shift around, so I've got all the space in the world over here for USB to plug in. If the insulation melts, you needed two. Exactly. I like it. Yeah, absolutely. If you're at a point where you're installing this in a printer, make sure you leave enough room. One of the nice things about this is a perfect square, so you can orient this however you want, whatever works best in your setup. So there and here. Okay, so if we look at that, that plugs in there. That should be. So first two here are V in, the second two are ground. Hey, Biney. I think we're okay to power this thing up and see what happens. See if it shows up on the network. There's probably a, well, it's going to show up in host mode, right? Or whatever you said. Let's look. Recore A7, schematics, availability. So where was is there more info up here? Let's go back. Software, Linux OS, user interface, reflash. Can't hang out tonight, just popped in to say hi. Hi. Here, getting started. Let's go getting started. Wire up your 3D printer. Let's zoom. The old thumb a click to, of course. Awesome. Approaching 200 people, and we're over 100 likes. That's good. Okay, wire up your 3D printer. Install Refactor on the Beagle Bone back or Recore. Recore comes with Refactor pre-installed. Connect to the device. Connecting. Let's go connecting. Refactor uses Octoprint or Mainsail for interacting with Recore and Replicate. To access, go to recore.local. But how do we do that if it's not on our network? Oh, we can plug it into our network. Oh. Well, let's see what happens. That guide is out of date. Okay. Let's power it on and see what happens. Will this be in some sort of host mode, or do I need to figure out how to get a network cable in this? I don't know if I can get a network cable in this. Hey, Dr. Dave. Runs from Beagle. I used to use Beagle for my Christmas lighting. Okay, let's power this up. Let's power this up and get a nice zoomed in image. Just in case. It's always a good idea. I would add a network cable. Well, that's a little bit of a problem. We might be able to resolve that problem. Not 100% sure we can do it with without killing the stream, though. I am not set up out here to do a wired network, so we can probably, I can grab a laptop and just do a little local network if I have to, but I'm going to power this on. Let's see what happens. Yep, we got a little LED right there. Oh, they're all flashing. They're flashing. They're all flashing. SUSE processors that are real time that are mailboxed into Linux. Oh, I got a light from the. So are we going to see anything on the network? Let's see. Is anything being broadcast, or should it be? Recore. There's Recore. It's on the network. So how do I connect to that? Is there a default password? Is there enter password? What is the default password? Recore is on the network. It's in host mode. Okay. Recore is the AP. Yep. Yep. So that's fine. See? Recore. Right there. Okay, and then it would need a password. I don't know what the best way to do this is going to be. There are 2 user accounts that have admin permissions: username root, password, username Debian, password. Temp password or kamikaze. It's a Wi-Fi host. Hey, Dark. I just want to get into it far enough. Oh, can I see it on here? SOC is a A64H. Where am I going to find the host mode password? Are you there, Elias? Is it in the, that's connecting. How to getting started connecting to the board. Is that what I just, was that? Hold on, I need to look it up. Same CPU is on the BTT Pi board. The password is 12345. I'll buy one right now. Let's try temp pwd. Nope, that's not long enough. Is it really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a password on my luggage. Incorrect password. Are we sure that's what it is? Let me make sure I typed it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Join. Unable to join network Recore. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh. Hey, Brian. You don't have to have a spare mesh router around, do you? That's how I get stuff on a network in weird places around the house. I have options. I have options. Why is it? Of varying degrees of how much of a pain in the neck it's going to be to get there. But we can try stuff. Now I just need to get Recore to show back up on my password list, or on my available sites list. I think you should try the network if you can. Okay, this is not great, but I'm going to power it off because I no longer see Recore. I don't know if I tried wrong too many times. That shouldn't matter. Get this powered back. To try the network, the best way is going to be for me to grab my laptop and grab a switch. Or I have a router. Ugh. Hey, Obi-Wan. It's not coming back up. While that's doing that, let me grab my various bits and pieces that might be able to get this going. What network is my stream on? So my computer here, my desktop, my streaming desktop, is plugged into a Unify, one of those wall outlet style APs. I need to figure out which port on this is my streaming network and which port is my home network. And I should be able to grab a switch and plug in my home network side into a switch. So let me go grab that switch and some network cables and stuff, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have no idea what happened. I have no idea. I did not touch the network to that point. So that was 100% coincidence. That was weird. So I have these little switches, which are really cool. And then this is the little GL iNet switch. This is really cool for conventions and stuff, and travel router. I don't think I'm going to need this here. I am going to, that was very weird. I am going to need power for that. So let's grab a power. Do I have the correct power cable? Do not see the correct power cable. That's not going to work either. We'll find power for it. I need power for this guy. I can't connect to the Wi-Fi if I don't know the password is the problem, Alex. But I think we're okay. What I need to do is open up my network settings. Well, that's not fun. Let's go here. There we go. That's Use the travel. Refresh it. Yeah, refresh if you're still buffering, but you can't hear me if you're buffering, so never mind. You could use the travel router to connect to your Wi-Fi and provide an Ethernet to the board. Oh, that's going to be the best way. You're a genius. That is what we shall do. That is what we shall do. Power this guy on. And how do I get to this thing? Wireless client bridging. How do I get to this thing? I still can't get to this. Maybe I can get to it on my phone. Maybe I can get to that on my phone. Yeah, I got to get to that to configure it first. Do you have an Ethernet port on your laptop? I'd have to go grab my laptop. Here, while we're still doing this, let me continue on the path I was going. You know, the other day I was thinking I really need an open network port in here. Yeah, I'm waiting for that to come up. Oh, Recore's back. That's not broadcasting Wi-Fi for some reason right now. But if I go in here to my Unify devices and I look at my AC, I can see which ports, which things I have plugged in. So port 1 is... Which one is... Port 2 is... Shoot, I don't know which one it is. Oh, there it is. Port 2 is my AT&T network. Okay, so if I take this and take port 1 from that, and I take this. If I go dark here in a second, you'll know why. So port 2 is the AT&T network. So I'm going to grab port 1 off of this. Which one is port 1? This has got to be port 1. Am I going to go dark? I hope not. Well, let's go. Let's power this thing first. Am I still here? Am I still here? Let's see. Am I still here? Let's get some yays in chat if I'm still here. Awesome. Okay. So now I should see one of my little mini connections just came back up. No. Now I can grab network cable and plug into me switch. Okay. Oops, let's go here. Network cable. Didn't drop out? Awesome. Next project, Cyberdeck. Hey, we got activity lights. Woohoo. Woohoo. Yeah, the text file could be a USB drive or something, I guess. Blinky lights. Yep. Hey, Vince. Welcome. Just in time. So let's see. Is this going to be as easy as going to recore.local? Awesome. I mean, we're getting something. This means we're communicating. Hey, pop away. Now, I don't know why it's taking so long, but... Oh, there we are. Look at that. Yes, but no. No, we're here. We're here. What versions are we on? Now you've got some settings in here that are preventing us from getting from triggering the errors, I'm sure, but let's go to machine and oh, what versions of stuff are we on? We are here. So, oh, refactor. So is this a custom image? Hey, Reth. If we go to printer config, we've got things. So this is a custom install or a custom or a fork of Clipper. So we've got things in here. So is this based off Armbian? We've got the MCU communicating. Refactor 3.1.1. I'm just kind of glancing at things here. Yes, it's based off Armbian. Okay. My setup should be that easy. Got all this stuff. So curious. Oh, here we are. Heater bed. We got a min temp in here, and this is preventing us from getting the air. When you set this up, you want to make sure to change this from minus 272 to something reasonable, 0, whatever, or delete, comment out this line. Cause see, if we do this, if we comment out this line and save and restart, we're going to trigger a ADC out of range error. Yep, there we are. See. So this is set this way, so you're not in, you don't open this thing to a bunch of errors, is I'm imagining why that was there. Oh, min temp must be specified, but you'll get an error if you did that. Let's go back up here, and if we set this instead, we set this to something reasonable like 0 and comment out the rest, then we'll get that ADC error. And there we are, an ADC out of range. So let's go and take that away just so we can, oops. Let's see, start. Okay. So if we look at end stops are set, and we are on some 3.1.1. What does this mean? What are we dealing with here? Test started, initial passed. Initial test passed. Yep. We have got a functioning board. What I want to do now is shut this down. No install canvas. Okay, let me shut this down, power it off. Let's look at the documentation for this, for the steppers. And I want to hook up a stepper. I want to hook up to one of the steppers. And I want to do a stepper buzz because that's the thing that's, I think, quickest, because we can plug in right here to S, or we'll plug in this one to S0. We'll just plug it in and see if we can get a stepper buzz on this. See if we can get a buzz out of it. I might be able to find a thermistor to plug in too. And I also want to find out how do we got rebuild, refactor. What is refactor? Refactor is a complete Linux image for Recore. It comes with Clipper installed and a choice of either mainsail or Octoprint. These instructions are for version 3.2. So this is a newer version. What is the newer version based on? You need to use reflash. Okay, we're gonna go through this whole process, but right now I want to make this thing move. I want to make it do something. Piezo speaker for testing PWM. That'd be interesting. It'd be audible as long as it's not shrieky. What was I? Oh yeah, I wanted to go back to the pinout. Let's go to Recore A7 and look at the stepper pinouts here. So they are paired up. So this is A1, A2, and B1, B2. So I think, I don't know if that's how these are set up, but we can just try it. It's not gonna hurt. It's all powered off. You don't want to do this live, but I should be able to just plug that in. Let's turn it over. There we go. That's plugged into S0. That's plugged in. So this stepper into S0. And we need that stepper flag contest going. I'm looking for. Oh, that's not really what I want. I guess it'll work. There we go. You can do the upgrade next time, but for now it would be good to get some motor movement and maybe temperatures. Yeah, good idea. Let's do that and let's power it back on. I don't need the little Wi-Fi dongle. I got wired network. So let's power it on and go back to here. And while that's booting, let me see if I can find a thermistor we can plug in. I think I saw something over here. Let's see if I can find a oh, not in there. One of the LDO little thermistors I thought I had around here. there. Huh. Not there. What about got all these boxes of fun stuff. Oh, there we go. There we go. Got a Revo core. I'll use that. Try again. Hey, Zixaltor. Welcome. Stock spare thermistors, nozzles as consumables. Yep. Infected Steve's driveway. Okay, we're back up here. So if we are, so S0 is which stepper? We go to printer config. Is it, which one is it? Is this mentioned here? S0, direction pin is PE8. Whichever one is PE8 is what I'm looking for here. And, oh, those are the TMC. So stepper X, here we go. So stepper X is the one we should be able to stepper buzz. So let's close this, go over here, and in the console, I'm gonna go stepper buzz stepper equals stepper X. And we should see that move, unless this wiring is completely wrong. Hey, woohoo! Neat. Something to come up, got to go for a while. We'll pause it here and continue when I get back. Take care, Tezza. Woohoo. So there is, what if what is the command to force move? Just make it spin. Documentation, force move needs to be turned on, and let's do, this board looks sick. I kind of want to play with. Let's copy that and go into machine and printer. We need a, unless this is already here. So let's just make sure force is not already there. It's not. So, oops, I didn't want to do that. Let's go down here. Let's put force move, enable force move true. And save and restart. Oh, I could just home X. You're right. Come on, Eric. It's way too simple. Fine. Let's home X. Hey, redacted. It should air out at some point, right? That's not nearly exciting enough. So let's go in here and go, homing speed is 2. Homing speed is 2. I was just begging for some cool printed flags. No kidding. It's gonna keep going. Did I change that? Okay. Let's save and restart. Emergency stop. There we are. It is. You need an, I do. So there's been some really cool ideas that people have brought up in terms of using the flags and then maybe put like a Hall effect sensor that's over here, or a little optical switch, or a little micro switch a flag could hit. I could even have it to where it like moved into place. You're funny, Jack. You're hilarious, Jack. Because that's exactly what I did. I did. I set it to 200. Woo! Now you know a few more add-ons for the test bench. Thermistors, end stops, fuses. Yep. How about a switch and a finger for an end stop? Yep. Home. Woo! What is the max speed on here? Max velocity is 500. Max velocity is 500. Let's see what 500 looks like. Save and restart. Or use sensorless homing. Yeah, that was another thought, is just put a bumper there that you could do. Oh yeah, we're going 500. I gotta wait for it to restart. Why is it taking so long? Oh, the black duck. There we are. Okay, here's 500. Here, let's get a little better angle there. Should I wear eye protection? You can change the velocity on the dashboard. For home? I like this idea. There we go. That. Oh yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And 0. And 1, 0. And save and restart. And woo! There we go. Safety glasses. Okay, we ready? This will be fun. I think it might have skipped steps. Forget about anything else. Nice. You have max velocity in Excels. Oh, thank you. Yep, you're right. Max velocity is 1,000 right there. For long, this thing will be a robot with legs for testing. I feel like it's probably skipping steps there, because that wasn't that much faster than than just the tape. 500. Okay, what else can we do here? We have 12 minutes until giveaway time. Let me plug in this thermistor and see what kind of value we get. Got 172 people here, considering I went dead for a little bit. That's not surprising. It sets and twitches, proves it works. Exactly. Might need higher current for extreme homing testing. Ooh, that's right. What is this thing set to? What was the current set to? Extreme homing testing. This is a new sport. What's the fastest we can home? Where do we have stepper X? I don't really want to go much more than half. I mean, for the short time that this runs, let's just go up to 0.8 and see what happens. Hold current doesn't matter. Let's save and restart. And see if it just makes a difference. It's also possible that it's... No, I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's slipping in there. Does it have a place for NeoPixels? I don't know. Here, we're gonna... Safety glasses on. We're gonna run higher current, 1 meter per second homing speed. And go. To start there, you saw it did skip, didn't it? Yeah, something's limiting it. Anyway, the next thing I wanted to do, since we have it here, is let's plug in a thermistor. So our pinout on the thermistors, let's just click on this so we can actually zoom in. And we have, okay, so the T3 and ground, I do not want to plug in 5 volts, but I should be able to plug this into the second and third. So, and I will go into T0. So it would be these two. Let's see if I can get that to plug in. There we are. There. Second and third pins. I use metric speeds on a Milo Imperial configuration that did the whole x-axis in 0.3 seconds and knocked the limit switch off. Oops. Let's see what this looks like in the, see if we get any value. Yeah, there we are. Oh, let me turn off. Turn off. There we go. Why is that still on? That's weird. But I turned off chat. Oh, that's really weird. I have two scenes that are showing chat. That's why it's going dark. They're both, it's duplicated somewhere. Which one? Don't need that. Maybe that one? No. That one? There we are. Okay, there we are. It's 21.6 degrees. It's not probably the correct definition, but we're getting a reading. That's the point, right? I'm still here. 8 minutes left to giveaway time. We are almost at viewer to like equity. There are 2 chat, ones always tells the truth and one always lies. Put that back up. What else can we do here? Because this is probably a nice little, we will come back on this next stream and actually set the whole thing up. So what we'll probably do is look at those instructions and make sure I'm prepared, and then we'll do that. What can cause an ADC out of range at boot up? Usually a thermistor is not reading properly. 2 copies of the sponge might be considered inconceivable. Put a command to change the limit. You can't just override it without changing the max value. Interesting video short, calibration of a code for absolute adjusted value of temp sender. Yeah, that's a whole little thing I wouldn't mind exploring, is getting proper temperature curves for things. Okay. This works. We are board. It says standby. What is that? I've never seen that. It says standby there. We are on here. Let's go back here. We are on refactor 3.1.1, and we are going to set this up on 3.2. So this will be next stream is 3.2. What I want to know is, before next stream, what things do we want to actually test on here with the test station? Probably should hook up a fan. We've tested steppers. We know that as a stepper works. Hey, 3D Print Junkie. We have a thermistor that worked. What else can we plug in? Here, let's open this in a new tab and go to the A7. Clipper screen, camera. Clipper screen would need to plug in with like an HDMI. Controllable fan. We need to test the heaters. We have a bed output, we got heater outputs, we have these outputs, LEDs, okay. It's good to do a ferrule crimp with a Wago. It's good to do a ferrule crimp with a Wago. It's acceptable to do that. Plug in a pie screen and show how to flip it. Scott's having trouble with an upside down display. So where that comes from. If you're bored testing a small voltage DMM to plug into the 5-volt rail and display output, I've popped out a time or two. Display. Oh, would that be that might be a good test station thing, huh? To have it, especially really for the 5-volt rail is the big one on stuff like this. It's just have a voltage display for what the 5-volt rail is doing, because that's probably the one that's most common to get dropped or to cause issues, right? That's a good idea. Auto fan speed, RPM for needed cooling rate. So the purpose of this test station is really to be able to go through the setup process. So right now we didn't go through the setup process. This is the default setup that came on the Recore, but next stream we're going to dive in and actually do the full reload process and update to refactor 3.2 on this. So that's the point of this, is to go through the process of taking a board from how it comes to updating it to be able to be used in a printer. So along the way, we want to make sure that the things we're configuring and setting up work. So it's not putting loads on things, but just making sure that things operate. Fans, thermistors, stepper outputs, that kind of thing. So we should upgrade to rebuild. That was released today. What is rebuild? So let's find out, what is rebuild? I saw that on one of the things here. Rebuild. So let's zoom back to a sane. Rebuild is a complete Linux image. So we would do rebuild and then refactor. Is that the idea? Installing rebuild on Recore. Recore is eMMC. So in order to install software on the board, a USB drive must be used. For instructions on making a flash or image, have a look at reflash. Okay. This is good. We're going to follow these instructions next time. But do you do rebuild and then refactor, or does the latest rebuild already have the stuff on it? Is this like the mainsail OS equivalent here? Rebuild is just a newer version of refactor. Okay. Is there a neat little definition page of what all the re's are? I mean, this says here Linux OS for Recore, but maybe a little bit more explanation might be useful. 3D print Bunny to read the screen for me. She's in Australia. With Rebuild, you also have the option of Fluid. Okay. But what we were going through here is the instructions here, and we're going to follow these next stream. I think this will be kind of the core of why we did this, is to go through ridiculous. You need something called ridiculous now, Elias. We will go through these instructions. Yeah. We are at 7 o'clock, which means it is Polymaker Filament giveaway time. So there we are. That could be the name of the manual. There you go. At least you picked a good prefix there. You got all kinds of options. So I want to see ideas for flags, and I want to see ideas for things you want to see tested. And we'll do as many as we can. I'll try to have the things in place to get that ready. And I'm kind of glad to have a network cable in here now. So made it into the giveaway this time. Awesome. So link is in the pinned post and the description. You have exactly 3 seconds, no more, no less, to get your entry in. I need to rethink. Good job. Resell. You have 3 seconds. When we haven't had a new entry in 3 seconds is when I close the responses. And we have an extra number of responses this time compared to last time. We're going to start the countdown now. So 3. We have a good number of responses right now. How many people do we have? We didn't quite cap 200 people tonight. But I think that probably has a lot to do with disconnecting for a few minutes there. So Steve is using reload. I joined the chat the other night. The giveaway had already happened. Well, you're here now. So recount. There you go. We haven't had one in like 10 seconds. So 3, 2, 1, 7/8, 3/4. Oh, there's one. There's a few. 3, 2. You don't recall. 3, 2, 1. We ended on 3/4, right? So 5/8, half, redo, time for a coffee refill, reverse. There was a new one there. 3, 2, 1. Done. Flag idea. HueForge Charlie giveaway wheel portrait. Maybe too small. It might be. Ah, this is good. I like it. Replay. Who got in? Brian T was the very first entry. Who got in last? Join the Discord or you remember. You leave and rejoin. You're remembered. Francis got the last entry in there. Scott, you were 4th from last. And Laura's in there. Hi, Laura and Sean. I didn't see you in chat. Okay, paste that in. Random noises for a flag for a number to offset the wheel. Let's see. What are our numbers here? What? Give me a number. Let's go for a number. What's a number? A re-elect. Hey, RFK. Lurking, you're at work. Let's see. Not nearly as many 42s and 69s as I would have thought. One spin. I don't know that I saw a single one, but that did not spin for very long. Andrew first, congratulations. Are you here? You have 2 minutes to say something. Andrew first. Re7. Looks like you're on top chat again. I am on top chat. How can you tell? Live chat. We're losing our grip. Andrew first. You here? Chat must be growing up. Congrats, Andrew. I haven't seen you yet. Andrew first. Respin. Andrew second. Exactly. Do we have an Andrew second? Andrew first. There you are. Congratulations, Andrew. You will get an email from me along with Sunday's winner. Get this pasted in here. Make sure everything looks good. And there you are. Awesome. Andrew second can pick up. Okay, if you are in the US or Canada, you get a coupon to the US or Canada Polymaker stores. If not, then you get a form with a long list of filament you get to pick a roll from. So, resume. Now we can resume. So, I think this is a good, that was a good point. Good stopping point, because we are going to go through the full setup. I'll think of things that I can actually get prepped to expand on this. Maybe get some sort of side panels in here so it looks a little more complete. And I'd really like a deck panel. So I think I'm going to cut a basic deck panel with just some tabs for the power wires here, just some slots so the power wires can sneak down. Retract the pinned message. Unpin the message. Yeah, congrats, Andrew. Is your issue the touch function? That's only one of many. You always resort. A deck panel would be good before next stream. And yeah, what else? Oh, something that I could use some suggestions on. And all of these things would be awesome to put into comments after the stream, because that bumps up the engagement. Good night, Stephen. Some sort of method for connecting under deck items to over deck items to the controller. And I don't know what is going to be the best way and where is going to be best. Would it be best to put something back here, or to move this back and put something around the front so we go from the front to the controller? I don't know what's going to look best. Lots of ideas. It's not fleshed out. But I'd like to hear what people think. I'm really liking the form factor. I think the size is good. Here, I'm going to shut this down so I can shut down. Microfit sockets in the deck panel. there are panel mount microfits, yeah. How about a voice command and control 3D printer, like text to speech? Pogo pins. Replace the DIN screws for thumb screws. Replace the DIN screws for thumb screws? Talking about on here. When is next stream? So the next stream on this is Tuesday. Next Tuesday. The next stream in general, we're back on the black box build on Sunday. DB25 connectors. I don't want to make a big harness. What I'd really like is individual connectors. And I might even make something to where it's the most common connector, like maybe JSTs, and then maybe little adapters like JST to DuPont or JST to Molex KK or something. Banana plugs take up too much room. Any terminal blocks are going to take up too much room. If we took this and just loosen these and move this up this way and put something along here, might not be a bad idea, because then all of this is just kind of in the back, and then this kind of goes to there. Maybe we do steppers to this side. Hey, Daniel. Yeah, see? I need to find more of these. I have more. I just need to figure out where I put them all. Phoenix connectors. Breadboard. I also want something that's not easy to short out. So I've dealt with DB connectors, and I don't really want something I need to crimp all the time. Here. Let's see, what distance is this? 80. Right there. No connector, just this hole slightly larger than the wire, but smaller than the plug. Yeah, I could extend the, but I'd want to extend these. These are kind of short wires on these steppers. Phoenix terminal blocks. Let's look that up. What is a Phoenix terminal block? Harnesses for steppers and such should have a permanent mount and customized jumpers from there to the board. Should be indexed polarized. Yes. Phoenix. What is that? Phoenix connector? Oh, is this what you're talking about? See ya, Eric. Harnesses for, yeah. There's a push lock spring loaded connector, small, but they are expensive as heck, like 20 bucks a block for a 4-wire. Oh, what is plugging in on bottom to top? Just got off work, so maybe just missed the conversation. So all on the underside of this, I expect to have things like, well, obviously the stepper wires are going to be on the underside. And I'm going to have a deck panel. So this will have an ABS panel that covers this, all the electronics underneath. But there could be switches in the front here. Like we might have things that we substitute for end stops, or there might be LEDs. Maybe we'll turn these logos into LEDs. We're going to have fans. I'm going to have at least probably a fan on the bottom that's always on, just to keep this cool, and then one that's controlled. Dropping an example in the Discord. Okay. Look, the mic connector for CB has 4 and 6. All of those end up getting pretty bulky though. I don't have a lot of room. DuPont pins like a Raspberry Pi. It's like this. CNC, a circuit board with lots of female JST connectors. So many ideas. And that's kind of where I got to on this. I got into analysis paralysis of how I wanted to set it up. And that kept me from getting to a point where it could actually be used. So that's where we're at. Let me bring up Bill City, put a example in stream chat. Oh, that's interesting. How that doesn't look all that big, huh? How do let's do that. Let's copy this. That is a connector. Use a logic probe, take a peek. There are 3 sections in the picture clipped together. It's about $12. Are these individual wires? So these are connected and these are separately connected to each other. Each of these is just connected to each other. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out. I like JSTs, they're indexed and sockets are surface mount. I would like something indexed, that's true. Maybe soldered to a 2 or 3. The only problem with JSTs is they seem like a frequent use. They're not really meant to be plugged in and out frequently. Gang door separate. I don't expect to solve this problem here, and I don't expect the first solution I try to be the one I like. So, do you have any perf board or strip board? Maybe. You can get those linear pass-through or distribution block pass-through. Hey, Wally. I think with that, we're gonna call this. We're right at the little over 2-hour mark. This worked. We powered it up. We made things move. Next stream, we'll actually go through the process of setting it up. So, mag connectors. I like these because you can DIN mount them. Put a second DIN on here. And we had a lot of fun. We will hopefully be able to re-watch that and giggle. So, next stream is Sunday. The member stream this month is going to have to be on the 25th. So Charlie's Angel stream will be the 25th. Coming up this Sunday, we will continue building on the black box. We'll be starting the dock components. And then right after the dock components will be the individual tool heads. So with that, I hope everyone has a good rest of your week, good rest of your evening or day, depending on where you are. Thanks for members, gifted members. Thanks to Polymaker for the giveaway, and thanks to Elias for supplying this board to check out. So take care, everyone. See you next stream. Enjoy the build.